step number 11. Let us repeat the Sankalpa. Close your eyes, close your eyes. Keep your eyes closed. Okay, open once. When you say, let there be peace toward the universe, hold your hands in the blessing posture like this. Okay? Not now, when you know. After you come out of step number 10, don't open your eyes, just enter into that. Step number 11. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hold your hands in blessing posture. Let us bless all living beings. Let there be peace.
Let there be peace
throughout the universe.
throughout the universe.
Let all living beings.
Let all living beings
in land,
sea,
forest, and sky.
Have
peace. Loka samastah Sukhino bhavantu. Loka samastah Sukhino bhavantu. Loka samastah Sukhino bhavantu. Open your eyes. So step number 10, everybody understood? Everybody felt peace, silence, no thoughts. This is called Samadhi. From here to a Sahaja Samadhi, which is natural state, this should become 24 hours your state. That's called completely natural Samadhi. This is the step number 1 I have taught you today. Step number 9 will help you to establish in the Sahaja Samadhi, which is natural state, from 1 to 9. Depending on how you make progress, how much you are interested, you can move. Okay. So when you came to step number 11, first he said Asato Ma Sadgamaya. We are actually repeating the prayer, repeating the invocation. Then we said blessing. Okay. So you are actually eligible for blessing only when you are connected to the divine. Otherwise, human mind and human body is a good wishes. Good morning, it's a good wish. Okay. Happy New Year is a good wish. But you will become eligible for blessing when you are connected to the Universal Mother and Universal Father. Universal Mother, Universal Father. So that connection gives you the ability to bless. This is not just mere words. Your blessings will come true. Every living being in the universe will start experiencing peace as you bless. Because that is backed by the universal energy. So that's the real blessing. So when you bless, how many of you felt some energy movement here in the hand?
Actually pulling.
That's pulling, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the chakra. Okay. That is the chakra. That's why the Ashirvada posture is like this. That's the opening here. So when you do this blessing, the universal energy will flow through you, move throughout the universe and bringing peace to living beings. There's a tremendous amount of suffering in the world. The living beings are struggling. We are human beings, about 6 billion race. For 6 billion race, we are killing almost 1 billion animals every day. No point of time in the history of mankind, humankind, such a torture and massacre of animals have happened. We have reached a stage of peak violence against animals. 1 billion animals per day are slaughtered and millions of species are destroyed. Let there be peace for all of them. They need it. They are crying. You become the divine vehicle for bringing the peace. Step number 12. Step number 11 we have completed. Step number 12 is Namaskara. What is this Namaskara? You have done every day, right? What is this Namaskara is about?
My Atma and your Atma is
Hmm?
your Atma.
Namaskara means na mamaha. First we have to understand what doesn't belong to me. First, what doesn't belong to me is body, mind, and intellect doesn't belong to me. Then what remains is my Atma and your Atma, one. They are Paramatma. So then, that what stops between my Atma, your Atma and Paramatma is ego, ego center. Drop it. This is the respect. So whom are we giving respect? Give the respect to the fellow travelers. This is satsanga. Any journey can have a complete when you have a good company and travelers. This is the satsanga group which you have. Give respect to the people made it happen today. Atma Jyoti Vijayji, Atma Jyoti Premaji, their family, respect. Third is respect the master. This is not a meditation technique. What I am showing you, opening you is a spiritual path which has been given to me by my masters. As a respect for my masters, I am handing it over to you. Okay? There are certain responsibilities associated with that. Don't go and start teaching anything. This is for your practice. You will teach, you will be able to teach after you reach certain level. Till that point of time, you are not authorized to teach. Because it's a sequence of steps which is very precise and guided. Step number 2, you do it, practice it individually, whenever you find time, but conditions are stomach half empty, all those things. What is the effect of this practice? I tell you. Because every day when you connect with the Divine Mother, offer you to the Divine Mother, through this, your body mind is purified of karmic impurities. When you connect with the soul, Atma, Paramatma, your soul will become pure. The karmic impressions will start coming down and you will be eligible for establishment in the state, permanently blissful state. It requires a series of guided steps. Okay? So now, by even this practice, if you don't come for next class or nothing, this itself, if you practice, it will be great benefit to you, bring a great benefit to you, both health, physically, mentally, psychologically, and spiritually. If you feel that you want to come to the next class, you are welcome. But when is the next class held? Where is next class held? You can check on the WhatsApp message if you are there, or you can contact Vijayji. It's also beneficial to periodically get once in a while together and do group satsang. The energies of the group satsang will be much greater. Okay, it will benefit each of them, each of you. So for that, I will give an audio recording to Vijayji. Okay, but the audio recording is only for playing in the group satsang. Individually, I have told you very clearly steps 1 to 12. Whenever you feel you are ready for step number 2, do invite me. I can come. There's sufficiently large group, or somewhere else it happens, you can join there. Okay. So this is what I have understood as the highest spiritual path I am offering it to you. Okay. Let us go to step number 12, offering respect to all satsangis, offering respect to the host, offering respect to the master. Slowly open your eyes. I am doing this as a deep respect for my masters, as a deep respect to the spiritual traditions of India, what has been handed to me, the light. I am passing on this light to all of you. To the best of my ability, this is the highest spiritual path I have handed over to you. It's up to you how you take it forward. There is absolutely no commercial interest, there is no other interest in this. It's only a respect for the spiritual tradition of India. I hope it will benefit. I have seen the benefit coming in many lives. It will benefit you also. So you are welcome to take this path forward. You are welcome to take it, become teachers if you want. Okay, absolutely there should not be any commercial interest. This should be a purely service activity. You are welcome. Now, today's this is what we call as Nishkama Karma. There are some flowers are there? Yeah.
Can I ask?
Yeah, please.
See,
Yeah, please, 1 minute.
Akara, how many times are we to check?
See, this is actually 3 times minimum. And depending on the time available, actually you spend more time.
Any number after 3?
There is no restriction on the time or duration. But you can spend, because you start experience the bliss and enjoy it. Okay? As you enjoy it, you can do it longer. There is no restriction on time. And if there is less time, you do it once also. ಖಂಡಿತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಟೈಮನ್ನು you can adjust it 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, it's up to you. But mean do it for minimum 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes minimum. Yeah.
What should be the time gap between two homes once we
That,
say
see here again the guide should be silence please. So please understand all of this. Okay, it is a self-guided mechanism. Okay, there's no timing or anything. The guidance should be the bliss. So you immediately know what is blissful. You will adjust it accordingly. Alright? Do it experiment a little bit, and you'll get adjusted to the bliss. You can tune the bliss. How much time you want to be, how much time you don't want to be.
and should you hold the breath during the two homes or
Don't.
just breathe normal?
Yeah, holding breath is another practice, different practice. Just don't hold anything. It's all energy movement. These are actually releasing the energy. Okay? So here actually the guidance for you is the bliss. As you feel bliss, you can increase or decrease depending on what practice you do. Okay, and I have spoken on a variety of spiritual topics. Please, my industry is not religion. I am not into religious practices. I am only interested in spiritual. I have spoken more than about 1,500, 2,000 talks on various spiritual topics based on the deeper realization which I had and based on the tradition which I will hand it over. These are available on YouTube. Anybody wants any communication, there are 2 people who are doing a great service, Umaji and Gayatri. Umaji is in Mysore. Just post in WhatsApp message, you will get all the answers. You are welcome to pass on this message to your friends for next level class, first level of initiation. You don't, that will happen, I don't know which place it will happen, depending on wherever it happens. They can join. Even if you want, you can come and join for second repetition. And you are also welcome to do any service activity. And please, absolutely, this is not commercial. It's a purely service oriented activity. Nobody will follow up you, nobody will chase you. It's up to you what you want to take up. And for any guidance, I am there. Okay. And also, my guidance is mostly restricted to spiritual. I don't have astrology and all many of the esoteric sciences. I don't have absolutely no knowledge. If you want to understand your future, past, and all, you can go to somebody. Okay. I have no miraculous powers also, no magical powers also. I am a simple human being. Okay. So whatever I have taught, you understood. So if you want to have any questions on this, you are welcome. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Don't get offended.
Yeah, please.
This practice, what you taught us, you started directly or you tried other methods of meditation?
See, my spiritual journey has been my spiritual journey started when I am 7 years old.
Okay.
Okay.
You had a spiritual guide.
Yeah, headmaster, coming from a proper yogic tradition.
Okay.
So I practiced this for almost 14 years, 12 years,
Okay.
every day. Okay, he taught me this practice. Okay, but it didn't bear the fruit at that time. Okay, it didn't bear the fruit because I was probably young. Okay.
What was his name?
His name is Shani.
Pardon?
Shani, he passed away. Shani, he passed away.
He taught you all this.
He taught all that practice. It's about 12 years, every day. Okay, that's part of yoga system. He taught me. Then he passed away. Okay, but then at that time it didn't bear the fruit of. I only understood the technique, but I didn't. My mind was not mature enough to under this thing. So then I had an exposure to. Then I had an exposure to Kundalini practices by one yogi who came from. That was also when I was in 8th standard or 9th standard. He had an initiation class at 3 o'clock in the morning. He came, his name is not known, he's just a yogi. He calls for some people and I was one of them. At 3 o'clock Brahmi Muhurtam, he had an initiation session. He came from this area. What do you call it? Tunga River. Tunga River. Tungabhadra River.
Okay.
He didn't tell me his name. Okay, he just initiated into practice, Kundalini practice. That also nothing came out of that. In a sense, I think internal maturity was happening. Then I had some amount of exposure to Brahma Kumari's Raja Yoga Center. Okay, but nothing worked out for me. That's all I'm studying when I was young. This is all the. This thing. Then, of course, I was involved in deep service activity. And I did my MTech in IIT Bombay, and I worked as a research engineer. But really, this opened up me tremendously when I was 27 years old. 27 years,
Okay.
1989. Suddenly, all the spiritual practices matured,
Okay.
and I got a very clear. Many of these things which I talk today, they are not taught as a this thing. This is the opening. Which
But why
happened.
didn't you pursue Kundalini practice?
No, I tried. No, see, as a youngster,
Okay.
like you get attracted to this, that I practiced. It's not that I didn't pursue. What I'm saying is, immediately the fruit didn't come. It's like a seed.
You feel this is better than Kundalini practice?
No. See, there are so many variety of practices. Okay, what I have done is, it's a system has emerged. Okay, based on my deep inner experiences, spanning over 7 years, so that I'm giving it, putting in the perspective. Okay, then I had a good exposure to Advaita Vedanta, Advaita systems of philosophy. Then I had a deep relationship with Mata Amrutanandini mission. Then one person called Ajja in Puttur. He taught me Putturaja.
Okay, you met him?
Yeah, he taught me the self-inquiry. So like that I have gone through many of these practices. But finally it has, and in the period of actually in between some students start coming up, one by one. Okay, they start feeling some peace in my words. They didn't come for any spiritual thing, they came for a marriage problem, office problem, job problem, all sorts of mundane things. But some words of mine gave consolation to them. Then they started asking for class, then I started putting a class. So the class gradually grew, it all grew informally. And I am doing it, I am feeling deeply grateful to the universe. I am just offering whatever I have got. With the hoping that it will benefit somebody. And I saw so many people getting benefit in some way or the other way. So I thought, okay, this instrument is there for divine service, let me do it.
What really happens after the 9th step?
No, before 9th step itself, 9th step is the ultimate. Before itself, what happens, you get established in what is Sahaja Samadhi, the natural state. Okay, natural state is eternally blissful. It's not coming in.
How long does it take? One takes it very seriously and practice.
No, it's not a seriousness. It's not about seriousness.
No, one takes
It is not about seriousness. It's not about the volume. It is actually the karmic impressions. Okay, it's ultimately it's a karmic impression. Okay, karmic impression which blocks the evolution. Now the karmic impression, what happens with the karmic impressions? Most of the time karmic impression we are not aware of that. That's why that's just like a block to us. Now there's no what you call as mechanical technique which opens up the karmic impression. Okay, the karmic impression is nothing but is what I call avidya in. Okay, now that avidya can open up only with the presence of a realized master in a dialogue way. That's why it's actually Upanishad, it's a teaching happens. Because when there's interaction, something opens up. That opening up is called karmic impressions. It's not a mechanical process of forcing something. So that can happen in one session, 2 sessions. I have seen some of them in one class, they don't need any further classes. So that's but I keep 9 classes as maximum because it's my limit and whatever is there I can transform. Many people get benefited in that process.
But you tell me what happens after the 9th step?
That's why the Sahaja Samadhi is a state of mind will be always still. It's not some miraculous thing happens. Mind is actually, mind has 3 steps, states. Mind, natural state of mind is what you call as noise. The background is noise. Okay. So he's asking me a question, for that I am giving answer. Okay. So for most of the people, natural state of the mind is noise. Background is noise. Noise. So typically I give the example of, I used to give the example, but today I can't give because of some instrument he has brought. Earlier day we had a wall radio, tube radio station, right? If you see, first thing which will come is not noise, this thing, voice, it will be noise. Okay, that's called tube radio. Then noise will come, some with Bharati and something will come, but first is noise. Okay, then I thought that tube radio situation, so tubes are dead, now it has gone to silicon. Now today he showed me that no, there's a tube, tube instrument is available, so I have to revise my noise-free tube is available. Okay, so mental condition is most of the people is chatter, continuous chatter. Now meditation is what gives you some moments of peace. But that moments of peace will not be stable because the system is not adjusted to that. The nervous system and the noise in that. So that are they called karmic impressions. Okay, impressions of this life or past life, they'll be there at various levels. So now, as you practice mentally, there will be more and more calmness, more and equanimity will come into picture because that's what spiritual practice is about. But it will not stabilize at that level system. It's a like touch and go. So person, I meditated for 1 hour and I'm feeling peaceful. And the moment my wife came, oh. Okay, I see it, the boss and I'm getting so this thing. I don't know how many years of practice I've done. So whatever the reactive part of the mind is will. So what I'm saying is the residue of the mind, which will keep on continuous chatter, and that will be more reactive life. So going beyond that, what will happen is that's what I call as you have heard of this idle mind is devil's workshop. Heard of this? So somebody will ask somebody to sit, just to say how this thing, sit. I can't sit, I have to do something, something I have to do. Okay, people keep on doing something. Why? The mind doesn't allow them to, because if you keep sitting, then mind will create such a this thing. Okay, this is not only at home. People say, no, I want to go and meditate and just sit Himalayas. Himalayas, just because the ice is there, mind doesn't get frozen. Alright? People think that by putting a brain in the freezer, some mind will fall face. No. Your Himalayas, some mind will just start chattering. Now Himalayan chattering will be different type of chattering. Okay, here he's seeing some nightmares, wife, a boss and all he says. There he'll say ghost, demon, God save, all those things will chatter. Mind is a mental chatter, finally. So the mental chatter will not go because that's the residual impressions. So as you progress in spiritual practices, these impressions, your action based on the impressions will come down, but impressions themselves will not go down fully. So then this is called idle mind is devil's workshop. Now people become very wise. They go to spiritual practices, they do some pranayama. I am spiritual now. Okay, mind is peaceful. You are spiritual? Yes, I am. Are you? Okay, because there's a suppression of the mind. The mind gets suppressed mentally. So that's called, I'll give you a better name. Idle mind is devil's workshop. Okay, empty mind is God's workshop. So in pranayama what you do? You are trying to empty your mind. Breath you are leaving out. Then mind becomes momentarily empty. Peace. Are you peaceful? Yes. Are you? Starts. Because the empty mind immediately gets filled up with the impressions. Okay? Then one, just last step.
One more question.
I'll just complete the first question answer. Okay, empty mind is God's workshop. Because the person feels more peaceful, he will become more productive and less reactive. But reaction, that part of the mind will not go. The mind is actually mind as laya, manolaya and manonasha. The mind becomes completely, that reaction part is to go. So that part, if it goes, that is called no mind state. No mind state is called God's mind. No mind is God himself. So you don't feel the difference between you and the consciousness. So it will be, in a best to describe it as a very calm state of mind all the time, equanimous. Dukeshu and Digma, Sukeshu, that's the experience. I am not the body, mind, intellect, I am consciousness. That experience will be throughout the day. In deep sleep also. Okay? So that I call it as Sahaja Samadhi in my definition.
So, one question.
Okay, did I answer the first question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of there are various paths,
Yeah.
in spiritual. Most of the paths specify that we have to accept our lineage as the guru,
Yeah.
and you should be obedient to it, and you should not practice anything else.
Obviously.
Give up all your previous practices, and then only start this.
Obviously.
Is it so?
I will say, you go to any guru. I am not a guru. Okay? I have brought a tradition system to you. You tasted it. You tasted it. You have got a taste of it. I have given you Mysore Pak. You tasted it. If you like it, take it.
Can I club it with something else and do it?
Whatever you want to do, do it.
No problem.
No problem at all. Okay? But what I am saying is, go by your bliss.
Okay.
The inner bliss is the guide.
Because other path what I am pursuing has its own good benefits.
No, no,
also,
I am saying absolutely you are free to do anything. Because first of all, I don't claim to be a guru. Okay? I have what I understood, I am passing it on. Second thing is I have understood best practices which I have understood and what I have realized, I am passing it on. So then it's up to you to choose this if it's useful. But what is the guidance? Guide. The guide should be your inner bliss. Okay? Which practice gives you deeper and deeper inner bliss? Follow that path. The bliss is the guide because ultimately we are seeking the inner bliss. So the moment you start getting the inner bliss, you will know exactly which direction to go. What should throw, what you should continue.
That will give the direction.
Huh?
That will give the direction.
That will give the direction. If you ask words, no, everybody will say everything. But what is your real guide is the Atma, the inner self, the inner light. The light of the self will guide you in the form of bliss. The practice which gives you good bliss. Follow that. And you know we have limited time. Let's say 5, 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever is that. In that limited time, you will always start now it become wiser. Investment, which practice I have to do more. Because you ultimately want to get bliss. That's the whole purpose. So you say by doing this practice, I'll get more bliss. Let me do that. So the remaining parts will follow. You understand? Bliss is the guidance. Awareness is the guidance. Okay? The state of mind which comes to the equilibrium is the guidance. Just observe yourself. Whichever you find comes, you do it. Okay? I don't go by my words. This is all experiential, ultimately.
Very small
Yes,
talk.
sir. Yeah, please.
Swami Anubhavananda.
Yeah, I know.
About meditation, he says, anywhere you have to put in effort, or you have to struggle, it is not meditation. Meditation has to happen.
Right.
What is that? I couldn't understand.
Okay, let me ask. His question is a valid question. His question is, meditation has to happen, he says. Okay, people can understand it. Swami Anubhavananda, I know.
Yes.
Okay, I have read his teachings and I understand what he says. Okay. So his question is, meditation has to happen. Okay. Any struggle is there in the meditation, is not meditation. Okay. How many people understood this statement? Okay. Now those who understood, now you answer. What is the answer for you?
See, anytime you make an effort, the mind gets involved. So then it is not a meditation.
Then what we are doing till now, first step, second step, ninth
So you will not feel it. Once
So-
you start experiencing it, you will not feel
When
it.
you felt the calmness, there's no effort there. The effort is prayer.
Correct, that is what.
Okay? The prayer effort is not meditation. Prayer effort is to get into meditation.
What is the real meditation?
Once you get into meditation, there's no effort.
Yeah.
Okay? There are two stages. Before getting into meditation, there's some effort involved. Once you got into effortless state, there's no effort.
That means you have got meditation
Yeah,
at that time only.
Yeah.
The remaining time, whatever you do,
Is
will
it-
not give real peace of mind.
No. It is required.
These are steps.
It's a step. So I'll give you an example like this. Somebody wants to launch a rocket to go to the moon. Initially, there's a tremendous amount of force is required. Fuel is required. But once it escapes Earth's gravitational field, there's no fuel required. They don't need a fuel engine. They throw out that. It just glide. Okay? Why?
Gravity is low.
It has gone beyond the gravitational field. So similarly, what happens is the human beings, our mind and energy always are going downwards and outwards. Okay? That's exactly gravitation. Okay? Our mind is always outgoing. Our mind is always downward. Downward means food, sex, movie, entertainment, outwards going. Mind can never go inside and that's restlessness. To escape this gravity, you need a tremendous amount of force. That tremendous amount of force is what is the practice I have given. So once you escape the gravitational field, then you are effortless. You are gliding into meditation. That portion, that makes you escape from that gravity is called grace of the Guru. Grace of the Guru will help you to escape from the gravity. That's why Guru's grace and gravity comes from the same word. Grace pulls you upwards. Gravity pulls you downwards. Gravity involves society, family, surrounding environments, your body, mind complex. So, Guru pulls you out of the body, mind complex and intellect and helps you to glide toward the Supreme Land. The effort is required to that stage because you need to build up the force. Once force comes, then you glide to that. And this is not because of your effort. Please understand, whatever you experience is because of the grace. Not Prabhu's grace, Prabhu received the grace from my master, I am passing it on to you. Without that grace, you cannot experience the momentary peace, silence at all. There are hundreds of techniques available, but you can't get that thoughtlessness justly. That is the grace which my masters have given, I am giving it to you. So that meditation can happen only because of grace, nothing else. Your effort is required to understand. My effort only can take me up to this point. After that, you have to just surrender to the master and the grace take over. There's no effort. Okay. Next question. Yes? Huh?
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime. Okay. So, we'll close with prayer. Be careful about the carpet. I don't know whether you should stand and do it. I don't know. Because carpet, I'm worried about the carpet.
You remove the carpet, that's better.
Yeah, remove the carpet please, because I don't want to, Prabhu came and spoiled my carpet, I don't want to hear that.
I think it is Vijay.
Yeah, Vijay's carpet. Yeah. Just make sure that carpet is, okay. Okay, just move the carpet and stand.
Yeah, just move it back.
Pulling the legs.
ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, हे योगेश्वर, हे योगेश्वर, हे ज्ञानेश्वर, हे ज्ञानेश्वर, हे परमेश्वर, हे परमेश्वर, हे सर्वेश्वर, हे सर्वेश्वर, निज कृपा बरसाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, मेरा अंतर तिमिर मिटाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, हम बालक तेरे द्वार पे आए, तेरे द्वार पे आए, मंगल दरस दिखाओ, मंगल दरस दिखाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, शीश झुकाए, शीश झुकाए, करे तेरी आरती, करे तेरी आरती, प्रेम सुधा बरसाओ, प्रेम सुधा बरसाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, सच्ची ज्योत जगे हृदय में, जगे हृदय में, सोहम नाद जगाओ, सोहम नाद जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, अंतर में युग, अंतर में युग, युग से सोई, युग से सोई, चिति शक्ति को जगाओ, चिति शक्ति को जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, सद्गुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगाओ, जीवन आत्मा, जीवन आत्मा, आनंद अविनाशी चरणन शरण लगावो सदगुरु ज्योत से ज्योत जगावो 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 त्वमेव माता पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव देव मम देव देव कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रिया बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावा करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणेति समर्पयामि 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 आत्मदर्शनम् ब्रह्मदर्शनम् आत्मदर्शनम् ब्रह्मदर्शनम् ब्रह्मदर्शनम् सत्यदर्शनम् ब्रह्मदर्शनम् सत्यदर्शनम् सत्यदर्शनम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु हरिः ओम् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् I have completed the first class. I'm going to repeat what you call as Ananda Spurana, flowing of bliss of Omkara meditation. There are different levels. Feel free to practice. So this is done as a yadna. Okay, this for me is a yadna. This is Rishi yadna. This is the highest form of yadna. Teaching of Rishis, doing it back to the society. So this yadna has earned yadna phala. So yadna phala, today's yadna phala, I am offering to Umaji's mother, who passed today morning. May Umaji's mother have ascended to higher lokas. I am offering all the yadna phala of today to Umaji's mother. नारायण 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 हरि 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 नारायण